the city of the Golden Temple, Amritsar, and we are here to meet Gurnoor Singh. Through the lanes and gullies of Amritsar, we have been trying to figure out कि वो रहता कहाँ है. Hopefully वो बहुत जल्द हो जाएगा और हम उससे मिल जाएंगे. Fingers crossed. We finally made it to Gurnoor Singh's house. Talia. Thank you, thank you. Gurnoor Singh attained the 22nd rank in the IIT JEE Advanced 2019. कैसा लग रहा है आपको?
बहुत अच्छा. Just happy with this rank. Like I never expected 22. I was not sure I was going to get that, and when I got to know that I have got AI 22, it was like great feeling.
शॉकर लगा था या फिर ऐसा लग रहा था कि हाँ मुझे पता था कि
नहीं, शौक लगा था.
शौक लगा था.
अच्छी का पता था, 22 जितनी अच्छी आएगी ये नहीं पता था.
ओह वाओ. कितने टाइम प्रिपेयर किया?
4 साल.
4 साल.
4 years.
4 साल. 4 years. What was your motivation behind preparing for 4 years?
किसी और चीज़ में तो इंटरेस्ट था नहीं. मैथ्स में अच्छे नंबर आते रहे, नॉन मेडिकल ले ली. चलो ठीक है, 9 से शुरू कर दिया, फिर जी ज्वाइन कर लिया, फिर शुरू किया, मतलब आगे आगे करते गए, चलते गए इंटरेस्ट बना, फिर काफ़ी ज़्यादा, फिर बस यहाँ तक आ गए.
अच्छा, ऐसे हो गए. हैप्पी गो लकी गुरनूर की कहानी है यहाँ पर. But Gurnoor, tell me something. Coming from a small town, what kind of problems did you face that you think people from bigger cities wouldn't have faced otherwise?
There are a lot of problems. Like Amritsar is a small town, you do not have a lot of choice for institutes. We hardly have only 2 institutes in Amritsar, and the quality of teachers is not at par with what you find in Delhi or Bombay or like Kota or anywhere else. Moreover, the quality of students, like there you find AIR 2, 1, everyone, like none of them are usually from small towns. They are from big cities. Like they have a good peer group. I don't have that facility over here. They have best teachers available in the country, and that's not what you would get in a small town. So it's difficult, but still if you have the will to do something, you can do that.
ये विल पावर जो आप बोल रहे हो, ये कहाँ से आ गया?
होता है कि मैं खुद को ही कि यार सेटिस्फेक्शन, इंटरनल सेटिस्फेक्शन होनी चाहिए. हाँ, आई डिड माई बेस्ट. जब तक वो नहीं है तब तक आई कॉन्टिन्यूड लाइक कि मेरे को करना है. And finally when you do your best, then you get best result. When you start exercising, let's say, like you go to the gym, you are initially not able to like spend more than half an hour in a gym. Then you go for a week, like you cannot improve, but then suddenly improvement starts happening. You can improve bit by bit. So that's the same case over here. Changes do not happen in a day. Like you have to spend a lot of time over that. You have to hold on to that moments, and you have to keep trying again and again, and then finally you'll see changes happening in yourself. I was doing it for fun, and that took me here.
You were doing it for fun?
Yeah.
Elaborate.
So like most of the students, like they are going for IIT JEE के यार IIT में जाना है, placements अच्छी हैं, ये है वो, मतलब ये aim मेरा कभी नहीं रहा. मतलब starting ऐसी हुई थी, but slowly you realize that it's not that important to get into IIT for placements. It's like more about improving yourself, developing your skills. That's more important. And once you are on that level, like when you think that you are going to get a rank in like top 500, you are automatically in that stage that you have become the best version of yourself, and you have got to know a lot of things, like how do you actually learn anything, not just physics, chemistry, maths, but anything. Like how do you go into depth of any topic, and how do you understand it properly, how do you use your knowledge to change the world. You understand that, and that's what this preparation is all about. You are not going to start anything and you are like to become a pro in like 1 month. So you need a lot of brain training for that, and this is just a brain training to develop your IQ.
How do you maintain that focus throughout the 4 years?
Focus अपने आप बन जाता है. Like you are not like कि मैं अपने आप को कह रहा हूँ focus बनाओ भाई, focus बनाओ. Focus अपने आप बन जाता है. When you are like really interested into what you are studying, you are automatically focused. So that's the only thing I had to do. Like I was not interested into any other kind of subjects like arts, humanities. So, and the other thing I used to do was guitar for recreation, and I did that too fully, and I studied also fully. And like you are already focused, you have only one thing to do, and you have to do that.
Right. Tell me a little bit about your family. Like how did they help you to get where you are today?
So family plays a really important role. Like my family is a chill one. Like they are not too much के बेटे पढ़ तू पढ़ता क्यों नहीं है, ये नहीं वो नहीं है. Like they never said that to me. They were not really forcing me to do anything. They even gave me choice कि बेटे जो करना है कर ले, हमें कोई है नहीं है, problem नहीं है. When you wake up, like you are in the breakfast table and you are like having a conversation with your dad about current affairs or anything like that just freshens you up. So you get to know about some motivational stories of someone, not only for IIT JEE but in any field, and you feel inspired. And when you are like just going with your family out for a dinner or doing anything like that. Like these are small things, but they matter a lot in giving you good mental health.
Right.
So like it's really important, and you do not take too much of pressure. You have your parents, you have your mother with you, and whenever you feel like talking to her, you can do that, and that's really important. Like
Right. There is this whole social media bug that's bugging a lot of students nowadays. Addiction, phone addiction,
Yeah.
social media addiction. I think that plays a big factor in how much you prepare and how well you prepare, because it really interrupts your life. So how do you think as a student, what measures did you take to, cut yourself out, or you didn't cut yourself out, whatever you did?
actually, I didn't cut myself out. Like I have a lot of friends, and keeping in touch with them is important. Like you make friends to keep in touch with them. Like you need them sometimes, they need you sometimes. You have to be there for them, and so you don't need to cut yourself from them. And as far as social media is concerned, I was not too much active, but still I was like 2 hours a week I used to use Instagram, and
2 hours a week.
yeah, that's
Impressive.
not too much, and that's not too low. So,
Nice.
and a good way to stop yourself from being distracted is turn off your phone and keep it somewhere out of your sight, so that you are not distracted by it. And that's the strategy I used in like 12th grade.
What is the secret to learning formulas and retaining them for a very long period of time?
I'm wrong person to ask this question.
Why? Why is that?
I never learned formulas.
Okay.
Yeah, that might sound weird. You're preparing for IIT and like you didn't learn any formulas, but I didn't.
So what
I
did you
used to derive them every time.
Okay, you would derive formulas every time.
People say that you take 2 minutes to derive that, but that's not a large amount of time according to me. Like sometimes question can be solved without that also. And the way JEE Advanced is designed, you don't have to really mug up all the formulas. Like it's more about concepts.
How much of an importance does it make in your studies, the preparation that you had, your peer group and your friend circle and your social circle?
Yeah, it's really important. Like when I joined in 9th grade in FITG, so when I was in school, there were not like so much of challenging people around me. But when I was in 9th grade in FITG, I came to meet with the best students of my city. And when I learned that they were doing 11th syllabus in 9th, I started doing that. So when you saw someone else doing that, you start doing that too. And that leads to your growth ultimately. If you're just doing your preparation alone, you're like, I am the best, but you're not.
Now it's time for the rapid fire round. Gunur, are you ready for this?
Yes,
Great. Question number 1. Choose one, hard work or intelligence.
hard work.
How many hours should one study every day?
It depends. It isn't like that you have to study 8 or 10 hours. There isn't any fixed limit on that. It could be ranging from anything to 1 or 2 hours or up to 10 hours. It's your wish, depending on you.
Okay. What to do with your phone? Switch it off or throw it away?
Switch it off.
Choose one, night owl or early bird?
Night owl.
Interesting. While preparing for JEE, to be or not to be in a relationship?
Depends entirely on you, whether you have so much of time, you think you can afford so much of time, then it's okay. And moreover, it's your choice, nothing else.
Okay. Thank you, Gurnur, for coming to the rapid fire round. You won!
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, तेरे हाथ में camera है. You won that. We're kidding. You talked about recreation. Tell me more as to what role does it play in your preparation?
It's important. Like you cannot expect yourself to study for 10 hours straight. You need recreation from time to time, and that's really important.
Right.
So everyone should do that in their preparation. It's an important part. It's not like you are having it as a luxury, it's a need for you.
What did you do like one day before the exam?
I watched the movie Jat and Julito. It was on TV, and so
God.
I spent 3 hours watching that movie. It's a really nice movie, and it's a funny movie, so like it lightens up your mood.
So what was your strategy behind that? मतलब you must be thinking ना कि आज मुझे पढ़ना नहीं है.
Like
अब
there's no
stress
point.
करना है.
एक दिन में क्या फर्क पड़ जाएगा?
हाँ.
अगर 4 साल में कुछ नहीं किया, एक दिन में थोड़ी कर लोगे.
बात तो सही है. Tell me a little bit about MyPad and how did it help you during the preparation of
So,
IIT?
MyPad is something I use like when I was not having any direction. So you have a lot of tests over there, you have a lot of concept tests, and when you're not getting anything like कि मैं अब क्या करूँ, then you can go to MyPad. You have plenty of questions and you can start doing them. and this actually makes constructive use of a time which you could have wasted otherwise.
Right.
And the interface which MyPad has, it's really intuitive and you feel good after solving the questions over there. It's like recreation plus some studying, so it's constructive use of time overall.
Right. And I heard that you also won a couple of prizes from
Yeah.
MyPad. What was these test series that you gave?
Before the actual test like JEE Mains and JEE Advanced, you have a series named as Pre-JEE Main and Pre-JEE Advanced test series.
Right.
And through that test series you get to know which concepts are you lagging behind and what are your strengths, so you can adjust your schedule according to that.
Right.
So it's like a great help to you during your last phase of the preparation. I took like All India Live Open Test Series and I got a watch from there. Yeah, I got a speaker too, right?
Oh my god, guys. And what is the importance of giving more and more tests throughout
So
your preparation?
the more tests you give, the more you adjust to the exam temperament conditions, and like more of the syllabus you are revising, the more problems you are being exposed to. So it basically gives you a good experience. And on top of that, the questions at MyPad, like they are of the same level as JEE Advanced and they are like slightly above that level, and that helps you to have more confidence.
What are the books that you used during preparation for the JEE?
So books are not
Physics, chemistry.
like that important. More important than choosing a particular book is like my guidance is take any book in the market and do it fully. Like you do not have to take thousands of books and just like search which one book is best. Every book is designed for like cracking the exam, and most of them are like good enough to do that. The only thing is that you need to be like focused on like how do you have to complete the whole book rather than just doing a part of it and
So
just
how did you
throwing it
complete
away.
the whole book?
So I used to go step by step, like some people do randomly, like this question, that question, then this question. Like that doesn't create an interest in you. So just go step by step. So what the problems they are first in the book, do that first, then just follow the sequence, and after that you are done with the book. And whatever doubts you have, just be sure to clear them so that you don't lose your interest in the topic.
Did you use any productivity techniques that you
So-
could tell these guys?
So productivity technique, there's nothing like special I did. So just have a good sleep and that makes you productive the following day. And that's like the only thing I did. I
How
think.
much sleep do you
Like,
recommend?
Before the exam, like after my syllabus was finished, I used to sleep around 9 to 10 hours, and before that 7 to 8 hours when
Wow,
I had
that's
classes.
crazy.
It's too much, but still.
Yeah. No, I mean self-care is important.
Yeah.
I feel sleep is important. Food is important.
Yeah, food is important.
How did you take care of your food needs? And I think a lot of students forget to pay attention to their bodily functions. कि मैं सही से सो रहा हूँ, मैं सही से खा रहा हूँ कि नहीं, ये सब क्योंकि वो पढ़ने में लग जाते हैं. What advice would you give them?
So taking a healthy diet is as important as doing your work. Like if you are not having a healthy diet, you cannot expect yourself to have a good mental health. So that's important. The more amount of healthy food you eat, the more energized you feel and more concentrated you feel. So just limit the outside food and prefer to eat ghar ki roti.
There are a lot of kids who are watching who are going to be from class 11, class 12, right? उनको अपना कोर्स वर्क भी संभालना पड़ता है और उनको ये प्रिपरेशन भी करनी पड़ती है. What advice would you give them in terms of how they can balance the two out?
Like just go with everything. Just don't take it as a burden on yourself that you are doing it for like as a burden. Just make it sure that you are doing it for yourself, and when you are enjoying the subjects that you are doing, it doesn't really matter like what obstacles are you facing, or you don't have a problem managing things. You just do that automatically. So just be interested in what you are doing.
Do you have any tips that you would like to give to kids for the day of the exam?
So on the day of exam, just don't feel pressurized. Just don't feel that it's a really big day. Your life is not based on one single exam. Like many people think that it is, but it's not that. It's more about the preparation phase, the skills that you learn during that period. That's more important. And just take it as a normal exam, like as you would be giving your any test series. Just take it as that kind of exam and you'll do well in that.
Right.
That seems like counterintuitive. You're just taking it lightly and you expect yourself to do great, but that's actually the trick.
हाँ. गुरनूर, तुम IIT बॉम्बे जा रहे हो?
हाँ जी,
कैसा लग रहा है?
बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है.
कुछ सोचा है इसके बारे में कि कैसा होगा कैंपस, क्या कैसी लाइफ होगी?
हाँ जी, रिसर्च किया थोड़ा बहुत. लाइक इट्स वेरी बिग कैंपस एंड यू हैव द बेस्ट माइंड्स ऑफ द कंट्री अवेलेबल ओवर देयर, सो इट विल बी अ ग्रेट
Best what?
experience. Minds.
Minds.
Yeah, it will be a good experience to collaborate with them.
Right. A community that is like your own.
Yeah.
तो गुरनूर, तू अमृतसर से है ना?
हाँ जी.
तो आज मैं भी अमृतसर में हूँ. ऐसी एक चीज़ जो मुझे करनी चाहिए अमृतसर आकर.
अमृतसरी कुलचे खा के गोल्डन टेम्पल जाओ.
बात. और क्या करना चाहिए?
Subscribe to my pad.
और कुछ?
Like and share this video.
That's right, friends. That's right. And download the MyPad app. तूने की थी?
Of course.
Yes, उसने की. तुम भी करो यार. I will see you next week. Until then, peace and love. Bye. Bye बोलना.
Bye.